There are moments in life when the world tests the strength of our spirit, moments when chaos rises, when uncertainty shakes us, and when we feel as though the ground beneath us is shifting. But my friends, it is in these very moments that our true power reveals itself, not in controlling the world around us, but in mastering the world within us. For every great victory in history began first with a quiet decision in the heart, the decision to remain steady, to remain centered, to remain unshaken. I stand before you today to remind you that no situation has the power to define you unless you surrender your power to it. Life will challenge you, but it cannot break you without your permission. And when you learn to hold your mind with firmness, when you learn to guide your thoughts with discipline, and when you choose to respond instead of react, you rise above the storms that once threatened to drown you. You are far stronger than the circumstances you face. You are greater than the obstacles that stand before you. And the moment you choose to lead yourself with courage, with calmness, and with clarity, you begin to shape not only your destiny, but the very energy around you. That, my friends, is how true control begins, not with force, but with wisdom, not with domination, but with inner freedom. True control does not begin with the world around you. It begins with the quiet space inside your own mind. When we look at the challenges of life, we often believe that power comes from changing our circumstances, shaping the behavior of others, or bending the situation to our will. But the truth, my friends, is far simpler and far more profound. The greatest victories are won long before any action is taken. They are won in the realm of thought. A steady mind, a disciplined heart, and a calm spirit can turn even the most difficult moment into a stepping stone towards strength. Every moment you live presents you with two forces, the force of the world outside and the force of your mind inside. The outside world brings noise, demands, pressure, and unexpected storms. You cannot stop these from coming. What you can control is how you meet them. When your mind is restless, the smallest problem becomes a mountain. But when your mind is steady, even the largest problem becomes manageable. This is why mastering your mind is the foundation of mastering any moment. It gives you the power to choose your response instead of losing yourself in reaction. Think of the people who have risen above the greatest challenges in history. They did not rise because their situations were easy. They rose because their minds were strong. A disciplined mind becomes your shield. It keeps you focused when fear tries to distract you. It keeps you hopeful when doubt tries to silence you. It keeps you patient when frustration tries to consume you. Control is not about having everything go your way. It is about having the strength to move forward even when nothing goes your way. When you master your mind, you learn to pause before you speak, reflect before you act, and breathe before you break. That pause, that moment of clarity, becomes your power. It allows you to think with wisdom rather than emotion. It allows you to see opportunities where others see disaster. It allows you to transform a challenge into a lesson that strengthens your character. Remember that true leaders are not those who control others. True leaders are those who control themselves. They are steady in conflict, patient in disappointment, and hopeful in darkness. Their power comes from within, and because it comes from within, no one can take it from them. You have this same power. It lives inside you, waiting to be awakened through discipline, courage, and self-awareness. So when life tests you, do not seek to master the world. Seek to master yourself. For when your inner world is calm, focused, and strong, the outer world loses its power to shake you. And in that inner mastery, you will discover the strength to face every situation with dignity, clarity, and unwavering purpose. Courage is not a life without fear. It is the strength to walk forward even while fear walks beside you. Many people wait for fear to disappear before they begin their journey. They wait to feel ready, to feel confident, to feel certain. But life does not reward those who wait for perfect conditions. It rewards those who rise despite their doubts, who act despite their trembling, and who believe despite the shadows around them. Fear is not your enemy. Fear is a reminder that you are stepping into something meaningful, something that challenges you to grow, something that demands the best of your spirit. Every person who has achieved greatness has carried fear in their heart. The difference is that they did not allow it to lead them. They allowed courage to take the first step. Courage does not silence fear. Courage simply refuses to obey it. When you choose courage, you choose to guide your life with hope instead of hesitation, with purpose instead of panic, with determination instead of doubt. You begin to understand that fear cannot stop you unless you hold its hand and walk away from your destiny. There will be moments when your dreams look far and your challenges look near, moments when failure whispers in your ear and uncertainty clouds your vision. In those moments, you must remember that courage is a decision long before it becomes a feeling. You decide to trust yourself before evidence appears. You decide to take action before the path becomes clear. You decide to move forward even when your heart is unsettled. Courage is the quiet voice inside you that says, "Stand up, try again, keep going." Leading yourself through fear means embracing the discomfort that comes with growth. Growth is never gentle. It stretches you, it tests you, it exposes your weaknesses so that you may strengthen them. Do not fear discomfort. Fear staying the same. For the person who refuses to face their fear remains trapped in a smaller version of who they could become. But the person who walks through fear expands their world. They gain confidence, wisdom, resilience, and a deeper understanding of themselves. Courage also means trusting that your efforts have meaning, even when results are not immediate. It means believing that your steps count, that your voice matters, and that your presence in the world has purpose. When you lead yourself through fear, you inspire others to do the same. You become a light in dark spaces, a reminder that strength is not the absence of struggle, but the triumph over it. So when fear rises, do not shrink. Stand tall, breathe deeply, take one step and then another. Fear may walk beside you, but it cannot control the path you choose. Let courage be your guide, and you will discover that the same fear which once tried to hold you back becomes the force that shapes you into someone stronger, wiser, and unstoppable. In the midst of chaos, when the world feels heavy and loud, the greatest power you hold is the ability to remain calm within yourself. Peaceful thinking is not a weakness, nor is it a passive response to difficulty. It is a form of strength that transforms confusion into clarity and turmoil into direction. When your mind is steady, your actions become precise. When your heart is calm, your decisions become wise. And when your thoughts are peaceful, your power becomes undeniable. You begin to navigate challenges with intention rather than emotion, with purpose rather than panic. Every storm in life invites you to choose how you will respond. Many people allow the storm to enter them. They become anxious when situations become stressful, they become angry when problems arise, and they allow fear to dictate their steps. But the strongest leaders understand that no chaos has the right to live in their mind. They build a place of quiet confidence within themselves, a place where their thoughts are disciplined and their emotions are steady. From this inner peace, they create powerful and effective action because they can see clearly what others overlook. Peaceful thinking does not mean ignoring the chaos. It means rising above it. It means understanding that you cannot control every event, but you can control the state of your mind. In that control, you find the power to act with wisdom. When you approach challenges with a calm mind, you see solutions that panic would have hidden. You find the strength to listen, the patience to wait, and the courage to act with clarity instead of haste. Powerful actions are born from peaceful thoughts because they come from intention, not impulse. In moments of pressure, remember that your breath is your anchor. A single deep breath can pull you away from anger, away from fear, away from confusion. It gives you the pause you need to think, to reflect, and to respond with strength rather than emotion. When you learn to breathe through chaos, you learn to control your presence in any situation. You learn to stand firm even when the world around you is wavering. Think of the people who inspire you, those who remain graceful under pressure, steady in conflict, and composed in difficulty. Their strength does not come from being untouched by chaos. Their strength comes from the peace they cultivate within themselves. They move with intention, speak with clarity, and act with purpose. Their presence changes the atmosphere around them because their mind is not controlled by the storm. You have this same power. It lives within you, waiting to be strengthened through discipline and awareness. When you choose peace over panic, focus over frustration, and wisdom over reaction, you elevate your life. You begin to act from a place of stability, and your actions become impactful. Peaceful thinking does not make you silent. It makes you powerful. It gives you the ability to shape outcomes instead of being swept away by them. In chaos, be the calm. From calm, create change. In every chapter of life, you will face moments that provoke you, moments that challenge your composure, and moments that tempt you to react quickly out of anger, frustration, or fear. But true strength is revealed not in how loudly you respond, but in how deeply you remain anchored in dignity, patience, and purpose. Anyone can react. Anyone can lash out, rush, or rumble under pressure. But it takes a strong and disciplined spirit to rise above immediate emotion and choose a response that reflects wisdom rather than impulse. This is the difference between being controlled by a situation and taking control of your place within it. Dignity is your armor. It protects your character when circumstances attempt to shake it. When you choose dignity, you refuse to allow the behavior of others to lower your standards. You refuse to let frustration turn you into someone you are not. You walk with integrity even when the world around you becomes chaotic. This does not mean you remain silent in the face of wrong. It means you speak with a strength rooted in respect. It means you remain steady when others lose balance, and you remain principled when others lose direction. Your dignity becomes a message, one that says you value your character more than temporary satisfaction. Patience is your strategy. It gives you the power to wait, to observe, and to understand before you act. Patience is not weakness, it is wisdom. It is the understanding that rushing often leads to regret, while waiting leads to clarity. In moments of tension, patience gives you time to breathe, time to think, and time to make choices that shape your future rather than damage it. When you are patient, you are not controlled by emotion. You are guided by intention. You learn to trust timing, trust process, and trust your ability to withstand pressure without breaking. Purpose is your compass. It reminds you that every situation, whether peaceful or difficult, is part of your journey. When you act with purpose, you act with vision. You understand that your response today shapes who you become tomorrow. Purpose keeps you focused on what truly matters, preventing you from being distracted by people, opinions, and challenges that are beneath your mission. With purpose, you rise above pettiness. You rise above emotional traps. You rise above negativity because you know your energy is too valuable to waste on anything that does not serve your growth. When you combine dignity, patience, and purpose, you become a force that cannot be shaken easily. You respond to life with strength instead of reaction. You create peace where there is conflict. You bring clarity where there is confusion. And you build a future rooted in the choices of a disciplined, honorable, and focused mind. So when challenges rise, hold your dignity close, hold your patience firm, and hold your purpose high. In doing so, you will transform every situation, not by controlling the world, but by mastering the power within yourself. Greatness is not measured by the situations we are given, but by the spirit with which we rise to meet them. Life will present you with challenges you did not choose, difficulties you did not expect, and moments that seem far beyond your control. Yet in every circumstance, whether favorable or challenging, you possess one unshakable power, the power to choose your attitude. Your attitude becomes the lens through which you see the world, and the world often reflects back the strength or weakness of that lens. When your attitude is grounded in hope, resilience, and determination, you shape your destiny with the force of your inner character rather than the limitations of your external conditions. Great leaders understand that circumstances do not define them, their mindset does. They do not wait for perfect conditions to act. They do not rely on comfort to move forward. Instead, they draw strength from within, knowing that every step they take with courage brings them closer to becoming the person they are meant to be. Challenges may slow them, setbacks may test them, but they remain guided by a spirit that refuses to surrender. Their attitude becomes their compass, pointing them toward possibility even when the path is difficult to see. A powerful attitude begins with acceptance, accepting what you cannot control and focusing your energy on what you can. When you stop fighting circumstances and start shaping your perspective, you reclaim your power. You begin to rise above frustration, above fear, above doubt. You understand that while you cannot always choose what happens to you, you can always choose how you respond. That response becomes your strength. It becomes the foundation of your influence and the source of your resilience. Your attitude also determines how you interpret hardship. Some people see obstacles as barriers, others see them as teachers. Some become smaller under pressure, others grow. When you adopt an attitude of learning, you turn every difficulty into an opportunity to expand your wisdom, deepen your character, and strengthen your resolve. The situation may not change immediately, but you change. And that change shifts the direction of your future. Remember that leadership is not about controlling everything around you. Leadership is about controlling the one thing that shapes everything else, your mindset. When you decide to remain calm in chaos, hopeful in uncertainty, and determined in challenge, you elevate your life. You inspire those around you. You create an atmosphere where possibilities open, solutions emerge, and progress begins. Your attitude becomes a light in darkness, guiding not only yourself but others who walk with you. So if you wish to shape your destiny, begin not by seeking to change every circumstance, but by shaping the spirit with which you face them. Choose strength, choose growth, choose hope, choose to stand tall even when the world feels heavy. For when you shape your attitude with intention, discipline, and courage, you shape a future worthy of your greatest potential, and no circumstance can take that away from you.